Okay, folks, took my cheaters off. Cheaters would be glasses. And I'm here this morning getting ready to take y'all to the state park. And I'm in the toy. Here, as you can see, the toy. The toy is the new love of my life. I'm going to turn it into an off-road monster to take out west next year. But we're going to take you to the Lumber River State Park. And it is... the Lumber River is the last scenic and natural river left in North Carolina. It's what they call a black water river, which means the tannic acid from the leaves and little twigs have leached out into the water and made it black. It's not bad water, it just turned it black, so it's called a black water river. And the state park is only 2 miles from my house, so I used to ride horses down there until they put in an official headquarters and camping and picnic tables and all, and now they don't allow horses. So, So, here we go, and let me turn y'all off. On the road now, folks, for the state park. It's just a long, straight road going down here. The Lumber River is a very winding river. The river might flow 10 miles but only cover a mile or two in actual distance because it runs like a snake back and forth, around and about, and there's actually what they would call lakes there. So it was very cold last night, and I do mean very cold. And water got a thin skim of ice, and the electricity went out for some reason in the middle of the night. And I woke up very cold, not able to get any coffee, but everything's back. Look, did y'all see those turkeys go across there? Wild turkeys. We'll try and get a better photo of them. Here they go. See the wild turkeys going across there. Alright, we have a lot of wild turkeys and a lot of deer. I think the deer season around here is about 1 or 2 per day for 2 months. Seriously, you get 2 doe tags, and I think you can go back and just keep buying 2 more doe tags as long as you fill the previous 2. So we have a deer problem. They're also small compared to the northern deer, but anyway, it's very cold. No coffee, but the power's back on now. I had a cup of coffee. This upcoming here now is going to be the head ranger's house. Okay, the head ranger's house is back in there. You can't see it, but it's there. And then up here ahead is the entrance to the park. I'll see if I can't stop. That's the park office. And there it is, the Lumber River State Park. The hours, if you decide to camp here, you have to get a permit, which is free, right there at the office. And they will lock you in at night. But there's someone on call. If you call them because of emergency or whatever, they'll be out here in just a few minutes. That's why they have a resident ranger. Okay, we're gonna go right around here. There's a dogwood tree, aren't they beautiful? And if there's glare on the windshield and all, I'm oh so sorry. Really, I am. I'm gonna let this window down. Whew, what a noise. All right, as you can see, there's the picnic pavilion. You have to pay to, you can use it first come, first serve. But if you want to reserve it for your wedding party or whatever, I think it's $75. And then there's the restrooms. There's no showers, right? Just sinks. And there is electricity in there, so you could use an electric razor or whatever. Alright, we're gonna put you on hold a minute. They do have water here. Right there's one of your water fountains where you can fill your camper up. They've got picnic tables here. And they have a lot of hiking trails. They're not long, but they're very informative. There's signs along the way that tell you what kind of tree you're looking at, what kind of animal, what kind of plant, what the uses for it are. And it's actually very good. It's interesting. And they change them from time to time. We flooded out during Hurricane Florence. If you look here, you can see the sand that's piled up there. There's no water fountain. They did not haul that sand in here. Mother Nature, God Almighty, hauled that sand in there. And we've had a lot of rain here lately. So the trail there is closed off. The river has been up in the campground. It's going down now. It's a beautiful river, beautiful place to be. I'm very proud to live here. Sorry about that. That was a bump, another bump. Speed bumps, you know. They do not allow swimming here. The reason they don't allow swimming is because there are some whirlpools out there that have, over the years, drowned some people before this became a state park. You can fish, though. And that's another reason. A lot of fishing lures out there. Here's one of the paths that take off. Back in the day, this was a resort. This area was called Princess Anne. There was a motel up on top of the hill here. There was a motel up on top of that hill. And there was a tram line, a little wooden train that ran on wooden tracks and was pulled by cables that took you down to the river and brought you back up. The very wealthy people came here and spent the summer. At that time, Princess Anne was a township back in the 1800s. All right, and I apologize about filming from the car. I would get out and walk around, but I am a one-legged guy, and I have a doctor's appointment I need to be at. There are picnic tables all through the woods there. They're beautiful. Beautiful place to come, especially this time of the year. There's no mosquitoes. And after Hurricane Florence, believe me, people, we had some mosquitoes. All right, hold on. I just figured out something, folks. You can talk to this phone. You can tell it record video, and it will. I don't know whether it'll stop it or not. The lighting is horrible here. Let me pull around. I'm trying to show you something here. If you've wondered why my hair looks like it's greased back and all that, it's not greased back, okay? I am growing my hair to give to the cancer kids. This will be the second time I've done it. Here you go, there's the ponytail. You can see it, the ponytail. It's long enough before I leave on my trip out west this year. I know one thing, I look better with this hat on, don't I? And without the glasses, why am I wearing they're just reading glasses. Huh, that's what everybody says, right? So, it's long enough. I'm gonna go to my hairstylist, hair cutter person, Bobby, and get my hair cut. And maybe if I open this thing up, it'll be better. There we go. Okay. And get it shipped off to Curls for Kids, or whatever it is. I forget the name of it. He keeps the forms there, and he braids it, and I throw it in an envelope with the signed, filled out form and send it off. This is the second time. The first time it took 3 years to grow it. This time, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I'm older. It took 4 years to grow it this time. It will be a relief to take and get it off. I'm going to tell you it will, because y'all fellows out there, all you men that have wives and you love their long, lustrous hair, or even if they have short hair, you should realize this is trouble. Really, it is. It's you cannot drive down the road with car windows open, truck windows open, or on a motorcycle. It'll whip around and tangle up in some of the worst knots you've ever seen. You have to put tons of conditioner on it so you can get a brush through it. You cannot chew bubble gum or chewing gum because it'll get in there. Yes, it will. And it's just a lot of things happen like that. And it's a lot of trouble. And I don't believe I'm going to be able to do it again. Matter of fact, this batch might get turned away, which they don't send it back or destroy it. What happens is, one of the rules is no gray hair. And I've got some gray hair, okay, this time around. If the hair is unacceptable, they sell it and use the money to make more wigs. The reason I started saving my hair was that Bobby, the guy that cuts my hair, mentioned, he does ladies too, he mentioned that my hair was very fine, like baby hair fine. Most of the adult hair is too coarse textured to look right and to make a baby or a very young child's wig. Most of the children only wear these wigs for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe just a few days. What it does, it gets them over the hump of having to go to school with no hair, having to go to the playground with no hair. But once they get used to looking at themselves with no hair, pretty soon the wig gets thrown in a drawer somewhere. But that's okay, because the wig did what it needed to. It got them across that hump. And I know this video is horrible as far as the lighting, but what's important is what I'm telling you. So if any of you ladies or gentlemen out there have long hair, it's got to be 10 inches between the bands braided. So that's what you do, is you gather it up into a ponytail, band it as close to your head as you can, and then braid it. And if it's 10 inches long, of course you can't braid it down to a tiny little tail. It's got to be a reasonable amount there. Then you just cut it off and you mail it in. So instead of just having your hair thrown in a trash can at the hairstylist, if you can, send it in. One way or another, it'll either be used for a child's wig, or it'll be sold to help finance more wigs. So I better shut up now. I've done enough advertising. Okay, looks like we've got it going here. Not real sure. It looks like we got some extra icons on the page, but we're getting on towards Lumberton now, where I have a podiatrist doctor's appointment. Not a big deal, just a routine checkup before I leave for out west. Fall is getting here. If you can see, the leaves are falling. But I had a thought here, and I figured I'd better talk to you folks. Plus, while I'm talking, y'all can see this. We're also going to fill up our propane tanks for the travel trailer. I have one full one and one empty one, and I use a little buddy heater, so I have to have a tank for it. So I have 2 30-gallon tanks in the back of the toy right now, and we want to fill them today because it's Wednesday. And in Lumberton at Lumber River Propane, they have fill one, get one half price Wednesday. So that's a pretty good deal, and they're very competitive in their prices. So we're also doing that plus a Walmart shopping trip. All right, folks. Okay, folks, here we are. We're almost in Lumberton, which is 16 miles from my house. And this is also part of the Lumber River State Park. This is just a boat ramp and a boat launch. Road going in here. The Lumber River Park just started a few years ago, but folks just keep donating land along it, so it's becoming a really big thing. A lot of miles of park. There's the silt fence where we had the flood. We had a really, really, really big flood during Florence, and it caused a lot of problems. And it washed a lot of the state park boat ramps and so forth out. And they've been trying to recover from that. We're going to pull down here. Let me show you this here. We're coming up closer to it. As you can see, this is usually land here, okay? This is usually land where people can park or whatever. You see the silt fence is way out there. I'm going to try and zoom in. See the silt fence there? It's a pretty good ways into here. There's a couple of hunters. Probably been deer hunting, and they're bringing their boat in. I'll pull on up some more. There, they're pulling her on out. Over there is a fairly new thing. We've actually got a dock to go with the boat ramp. Oh, this is Duke Energy. They're out there checking the power lines, I guess, that go across the river. Now, what is this? This is very long parking here. Is this for overnight, perhaps? Single vehicle parking only? Handicapped is a big one. See what these signs say further up here. Single vehicle, single vehicle. So the others must be for boats. I'm going to cut you off now. We keep driving around. We're going to be late to the doctor before it's over with. Not a problem. Okay, folks, so here we go. We're at Lumber River Propane. Right there, right here in Lumberton. That used to be a fast food place. Looks like a Tasty Freeze, doesn't it? I grew up with Tasty Freeze. Alright, so here we go. There's the 2 30-gallons. One goes on the camper, one goes to be hooked up to the little buddy. Here's where we're going to fill her up. That's real exciting, so we'll just let that slide now. The guy's about 20 minutes away from finishing his lunch, so we'll just sit here and wait. That's easier than coming back and waiting in line, because right now it looks like we're first. Alright,